Alright guys, episode 1, the Real Deal Combat Sports Show.
We're here.
We're here.
It's time. It's time to start.
Lies, truths, and everything in between. Worldwide leader in absolutely nothing. And this is our set. I mean, we're proud of it. We put absolutely no money into it. You know, I mean, it's
Entrepreneurs. True
table.
entrepreneurs.
We've talked about the table. You know, the table, we just kind of found it. We threw this together.
We got it going.
Anyway, so we're going to get right to it because unfortunately YouTube wants to be a little sis about things. They don't want to let me upload like a 2-hour show. We can talk for 2 hours.
That YouTube.
Okay, so we want to start out, guys. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm John Helton, world champion interim, but you know, I'm working on getting that belt. But, not for real. I'm on our Top Fight Academy, and this is my crew. These are my homies: Ryan Bryant, Michael Sturgill, Trey Baker. We got some minds here tonight, so we're gonna talk some stuff. First off, we're gonna get started. Youth grappling, man. Youth grappling. For those of you that don't understand, there's some kids out here at the age of 6 or 7 years old that absolutely are beast mode, and you know, I feel like I had the privilege of seeing the birth of that.
No doubt.
You know, I just it's a special thing to me to know that we've got kids. No matter what, we have a house full of kids every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then on competition class. Right now it's a little down because we're doing wrestling season and there's some other things going on. But you know that'll be back fired up. But just looking around the scene, November 12th, Warrior FC coming to RW Combs here in Hazard. Support your local MMA guys. If you're out there and if you're seeing this in Anchorage, Alaska, support Anchorage, Alaska's local MMA scene. That's where your stars are born. November 12th, Maddox Little Slick Bryant takes on a little dude from Harlan, 7 years old, tough as nails.
Brody the Beast, I think is what they call him.
So
won his last fight, guillotine. Hit us up, want to know if we wanted to do it, so it's game on.
So November 12th, RW Combs, Maddox Little Slick Bryant will be taking on
Brody Smith.
Brody Smith. This will be in a youth grappling match before the MMA fights get started. That night there's amateur and professional MMA fights scheduled to fight. I mean, you just got to look down the line, some just big names. You've got Travis Pennington making his comeback. I mean, he's been off for a few years from fighting, but he's going to be back in the cage fighting a game opponent. You know,
that's the match of the night. That's the match I'm looking for.
I'm looking really forward to that. I think Travis put out that this guy pinned him actually, not pinned him, but he beat him in wrestling when they were in high school. Not many people pin Travis Pennington.
No.
It's just not going to happen, you know, often. That's just, you know, but he beat him in wrestling according to Travis. This is on Travis's Facebook. But Travis is a different man since then. So that's going to be an awesome fight. Ken Beverly fighting again on pro, 18-year-old, I think. He's 3-2.
3-2 pro, went 6-0 as an amateur.
6-0 as an amateur, so that's going to be, you know, hometown Hazard guy. Trains out of Viper Pit MMA, going to be fighting in pro. So great card lined up. Good things coming out of Adam Gomez's Ultimate Grappling Invitational. Is that right? UGI.
I checked that out. Was wanting to get Maddox involved in that. Unfortunately, it's scheduled during wrestling season. The card is crazy. We're talking about youth kids. You've got Jaden's. I think Jaden's last name. What is Jaden? Don't know Jaden's last name, but he's good. You got Kyle Wayne Scott.
Kyle, man.
Taking on a kid from Butch House's gym. Maddox competed against. His name's happens to be Brody. Excited for that match. Isaiah Gomez coming off a huge tournament win. Just a few weeks ago. So tough kids, exciting.
This is your future, guys. And Michael, you know, you see these kids train every night. What do you think? They hardcore, right? I mean, you know what we do. You know.
Yeah, it's beast mode every night up here.
I mean, it's amazing to see it happen.
That's it.
Kids are hardcore.
Hardcore. You heard it here first. Everything you're going to hear it here first. I mean, everything.
Straight out top 5.
But
Hit him up.
606.
606.
606. But we recently had a seminar with Joe Bays. A big thanks to Joe Bays for coming down. If you're out there training and you don't know who Joe Bays is, you got to look him up. You're behind. It's like if you were studying a subject in school and you don't know who America is. If you're studying social studies and you don't know who America is, you're a little behind. Would I be correct on that?
You would
Is
be
that a
correct.
lie?
Joe Bays is somebody you need to look up.
He's
If you're-
America.
If you're looking at grappling and you like the dark side of leg locks, you need to know who Joe Bays
And
is.
Joe, man, just for those of you who don't know, Joe Bays, leg lock freak. And what's cool about Joe Bays, I feel he's a close friend. He may not feel that way. He might want to beat me up or something. No, me and Joe, I think are good friends. We've been good friends for a long time. He was here for the very first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu seminar that was ever hosted in Hazard, Kentucky. That's when I feel things really got kicked off. He was here for that. So that relationship means a lot to me. Joe delivered an awesome seminar. Joe's got some big things coming up that Joe will announce, and we'll definitely follow from there. Big news tonight. Viper Pit fighter Dustin Collins makes his pro debut against Ed Ruth, who, if you don't know Ed Ruth, he's a Penn State wrestler, 3-time national champion, All-American. John Jones actually had Ed Ruth come into his training camp to help out with Daniel Cormier fight. So thoughts on that? Dustin took a loss, but stepped up fighting Ed Ruth.
I think good experience, go down, be in front of the big show, get the lights, the weigh-ins. I even caught a picture on Facebook signing posters. Awesome
That's
opportunity.
gotta be cool.
It's got to be cool, Took a loss, went in. No shame in who he lost to. Like I said, you learn, but maybe come back. Hopefully gets to the drawing board, trains a little bit, goes back at it.
But that's cool.
That's fighting.
Hazard guy, when I look back, 2008, March 2nd, I remember Trey Baker was there, very first seminar, man. Trey remembers.
Yeah, I was like 11 or 12 years old. It's been a few minutes.
Yeah, Trey was just a kid, just like so many of the great combat athletes that have evolved over the last few years.
Ken Beverly was like 15 when I moved here.
Ken was 15 when you moved here. Ken was like 8 or 7 when he started training down at the old gym, and then now, of course, they've got Viper Pit, which is, they've done some awesome things in the cage grappling, and down at Georgetown's grappling tournament. Just a strong MMA team. So Dustin fought on Bellator tonight, a big milestone for MMA in the Hazard area. Like I said, he took a loss, but he was fighting Ed Ruth, who really is an elite level wrestler. So props out there to Dustin for taking that fight, and proud of your efforts. I'm really looking forward to seeing Travis fight again. Beast mode all the way to the bone.
Nobody trains like Travis. Nobody's.
I don't think so. I mean, his strength and physical conditioning training is on another level. I mean, he works out with weights that people can barely lift up.
No doubt. What you got to keep in mind with Travis Pennington, this guy's he's still fighting an amateur.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking like Travis at amateur. Very few people's looking like him. Very few people's training like him. So I'm excited to see him
I
come
remember
in.
Travis head kicking a guy one time, and they took him out on a stretcher. This was a fight for Lex, and I wasn't involved in everything, but this is just history. But his stand-up is unreal, and he's got the wrestling, he's got the jiu-jitsu purple belt under Rob Nickerson, the
Legit gym, Reaction MMA.
George Richel's group, which takes me back to another thought, about Wolfie Steele. Wolfie Steele was a kid growing up a lot like Caleb and Maddox, Maddox has done 2 cage grappling matches now, and Wolfie used to do those and did everything he could. Now he's on the West Coast. He trained with Rob there for a while, moved to the West Coast. He's with Zenith now, and that's Robert Drysdale's group, by the way, and just killing it. He's still just a teenager. I think he may have hit 20 by now. I've kind of lost track of him over time, but I look at the kids now and I see a path that's been sort of charted that's much like his. So I can see, you know, I could spit off 10 or 12 kids right off the top of my head that, you give them 10 years, man, it's gonna be beast
Oh,
mode.
another level, man. I don't grapple with these kids. That's why I come in here, try to beat up on them now, so I have to mess with them. when they get
Yeah,
over
it's
here.
gonna be crazy.
We'll have to start senior citizens.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start the senior citizen class, let the kids just do their own thing, because when they see us come in, they're just gonna laugh,
Yeah.
you know?